Good evening, Rotaractors. Welcome, welcome. A couple still joining. Kristen on the way. And let's see. I believe I took off the option for people to switch their mics on. Somebody could probably try that and see if your mic is coming on. In the meantime, I will start up our inspirational videos for the evening. Good evening, Doc.
This is flowing like a river on everyone. Peace is happiness. Let's spread peace through the world.
It's a word which does not know any religions, it just peace together, and we also should be the same.
Peace is a unified goal. No matter what we are people.
Peace!
Peace. Peace. No matter what country we're from, we all deserve peace.
Peace Rotary High School!
Peace.
People all around the world celebrate the International Day of Peace.
I'm the CEO of Red Dot Foundation. It's a not-for-profit in India as well as in the US. And our main work is sexual violence prevention.
Right now I'm based in Bangkok, building up a social enterprise network, supporting smallholders farmers in moving to sustainable agriculture.
One of my passions is working with youth, providing mentorship, and drawing out the leadership and skills that so many of our young people have.
I've been involved with IPO for over 35 years. I have been working a lot with traumatized clients, especially from abuse, from domestic violence.
I'm the founder and CEO of The Female Voice, a global hub for females to empower the world.
My work is to build bridges between communities, to make sure that communities understand each other, to create receptivity for immigration.
I work now at the Sanitation and Water for All partnership. What we do as a partnership is to really catalyze action around the water, sanitation and hygiene.
Some of the skills that I took back from the Rotary Peace Fellowship program was better communication in the non-violent space.
If we can support the economic development in a very sustainable way, I believe that we have a chance for building a peace platform.
First of all, we are a family of Peace Fellows, and we see ourselves as change agents in the community.
The fellowship creates sort of this hotbed of growth and evolution for peace builders, for people advocating for social change.
The training for me, it helped because I did not just come out as somebody who understands development policy, but I also have this insight into peace and conflict resolution.
It's my personal experience that Aikido can bring peace from within, and then you can expand that to other people through your interaction.
And if you have the passion and you have the desire to make change in your community or in the world, you're the right person for this program.
Good evening, everyone. Again, just putting up another slide for us to share shortly, and we'll run that. This one, though, doesn't have any audio, so you will be without sound for a little bit as this next slide progresses through. So this would be a good time to have a read of these slides playing here.
Take a moment. Shut your eyes. Take a deep breath and think about this question. What is peace? I'm willing to guess that thousands of notions about peace just surfaced. Some of you may have thought about big picture, philosophical ideas of peace. Something out there, somewhere, someday. Others may have considered actions, how peace is lived and practiced in the present. This is the beauty of peace. It is personal and intimate. And at the same time, it is something bigger than each of us. There is no one way to define peace, and thus, so many ways to work toward it. While Rotary as an organization has been committed to peace from its very start, peace hasn't always been taken that seriously. But things are changing, and organizations like Rotary, in partnership with organizations like the Institute for Economics and Peace, as you just saw in the video, they're shifting the conversation on just what peace is and isn't, how peace is practiced, and how peace is measured. Instead of simply trying to stop direct violence or negative peace, Rotary has been focused on building positive peace. The attitudes, institutions, and structures that create and sustain peaceful societies. Rotary does this through its very membership, uniting individuals like yourselves in a common cause, and through its 6 areas of focus. Considered through a positive peace lens, all 6 areas of focus are interconnected. They address social, economic, and political factors and relations, and consider the interrelated facets of human development. For example, providing a community with clean drinking water means children are less likely to miss school due to health problems, and education can lead to better job opportunities in the future. Adults are also less likely to miss work and are better able to provide for their families. Fundamental to Rotary's peace work is Rotary Peace Center and Peace Fellowship Program. Rotary's Peace Force of more than 1,000 leaders working in more than 100 countries, in non-governmental organizations, large and small, foundations, government, and law enforcement. Peace Fellows like Abdikair Ahmed, a Canadian of Somali origin, who now contributes to making Canada a more welcoming place, advocating for policies that empower refugees and immigrants to achieve their full potential in their new home. Amanda Martin, director of an innovative community transformation center with ETA Projects, a public health organization addressing water, sanitation, and disease prevention in rural Bolivia, working hand in hand with community health promoters and leaders. And Carlos Juarez, who witnessed increasing violence in his hometown of Acapulco, Mexico, organized neighbors to advocate for political action, and now directs the Institute for Economics and Peace office in Mexico. I am proud to be counted among the ranks of these Peace Fellows, each of us with our own area of focus, together cultivating the conditions for peaceful societies to flourish. As for me, I grew up overseas, the daughter of civilians working for the US military, very aware of difference, privilege, and power from a young age. This awareness stayed with me as a university student, and I wanted to do something. In 2004, I volunteered to lead an international service team to Guatemala, and the Rotary Foundation, an organization I had never heard of before, made the trip possible with a volunteer service grant. During my time in Guatemala, I was deeply impacted by a women's textile cooperative, Ishakak Hamul, 28 weavers who depended on their earnings to send their kids to school. At their request, a friend and I started a project in the US to sell the weavers' handicrafts at a fair wage. That small project launched my career in international development, inspiring me to advocate for social justice, for small-scale producers, and community-driven development in the Global South. The Guatemala service team led to work with Equal Exchange, a fair trade coffee, tea, and chocolate company, and later in academia with gender studies, nonviolence studies, and leadership studies at Kansas State University, and ultimately with the Asian University for Women in Chittagong, Bangladesh, an institution dedicated to cultivating women leaders. These early career jobs allowed me to experience economic and community development at various levels, from the field to the boardroom to the classroom. But I reached a point where I knew I needed specific skills, knowledge, and connections to go further, to have a deeper impact on a global level. And the Rotary Peace Fellowship provided that opportunity. My master's in International Studies, Peace and Conflict Resolution from the University of Queensland equipped me with the tools necessary to critically analyze and rethink development approaches, to be a more effective practitioner. And upon finishing the fellowship, I was hungrier than ever to be back in the field, preventing conflict and building peace via community-driven development. I joined Coffee Kids, a US-based nonprofit dedicated to improving livelihoods for coffee farming communities in Latin America through health, education, food security, microfinance, and capacity building projects. In my job as International Program Coordinator, I worked one-on-one with grassroots partner organizations to help them implement and measure the impact of projects they themselves designed and carried out. Projects that allowed women like Francesca in Honduras to obtain a microcredit loan to start her own coffee nursery, selling disease-resistant seedlings to neighboring farmers. Or the Take a moment.
Okay, so once more, good evening and welcome everyone to our Rotary Club of Penal Peace Building meeting. I am your host, Carmeline Manhar, and I will be handing over now to our chairman for this evening, Sean Boyce, and Rotarian Miriam Boyce, who are there together now. I might need to unmute them, so just give me 1 second. Go ahead, Sean. Sean, you're unmuted now. Okay, somehow we're still not hearing. Just tap your mic on and off again. Let's see if this helps. Okay, seeing some activity.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we're there. Go ahead, Sean.
Right. Once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Penal Peace Building meeting. We'd like to start with an opening prayer by Rotarian Darcel.
Right, so I have that
Marcel, are you there?
pre-recorded. Yes, I have it pre-recorded, and we are going to that shortly.
Excellent.
Okay, I had to put on the share. 1 second.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we invoke a blessing upon this occasion of fellowship, sharing of ideas, collaboration, and healthy discussion. Today, we pray that we receive your special blessing and reaffirm our commitment to engage in humanitarian service. Make us aware of the deeper significance of our meeting as we focus on peace building in our efforts to influence the attitudes of our fellow citizens to create and sustain a peaceful society. Make us channels of your peace. Amen.
Thank you, Victoria and Dassel. Now we would have the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. Please rise.
Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, of the blue Caribbean Sea. This our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Thank you, Cameron.
Welcome.
Once again, good evening to all. Special welcome to Assistant Governor Debbie Rupchan, who is the District Peace Committee Chair, to the members of the District 7030 Peace Committee, to our Rotary President, Danarai Jagarat, and other Rotary Presidents, Secretaries, fellow Rotarians, Interactors, staff advisors, and all of the Rotary family. I am truly excited to be part of the first official peace building meeting, as Rotary Club of Penal is now recognized as an international peace building club. As chair, I look forward to working with all of you towards building a brighter tomorrow. With that said, there are a few rules for tonight's meeting. No profanity, be respectful, raise hands to be recognized for an opportunity to speak, and please feel free to use the chat for questions and relevant contributions. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Rotarian Indira Viju Daniel. Kamala, I think she's muted still.
Yeah, I'll just need to put her on 1 second.
Thank
All right,
you.
there we go, Indira.
Thank you. Thank you,
Welcome.
Sean, Rotarian Sean. Good evening, everyone. All protocols observed. I recognize Assistant Governor Debbie Rupchan with us this evening, fellow Rotarians, and all other guests. Good evening. This evening, we are gathered here for a special cause. And when we meet as a group at this time of the day, in this form of communication, you wonder what's going on. So as you all know, COVID-19 has brought with it a premature end to what we considered norms and some of our beliefs. And we have found that in the midst of all the turbulence and everything else, trying to find an alternative new norm, we have other issues that are propping up. And the word peace comes up in different forms and fashions. At this time, we are all uniting here for a special cause, for peace. And I know that we have a number of young persons here with us and others. And I would like to share with you on the screen a link. And using that link, I would like you to tell me exactly what comes to your mind when you hear about that word peace. And that is P-E-A-C-E, all right? So tell us what you think. Just click on the link and whatever comes to your mind, what does peace mean to you? A word or a phrase that will give us a sense of peace. So feel free, click on the link and throw out those words and phrases. Let's hear what's on your mind and how you're thinking. Okay, so we give you about 2.5 to 3 minutes again. There are many of you here. I'm seeing 33 persons present.
Yes, contributions are loading on the page. Wonderful. Keep going.
All right, and yes, we are having some overlap, some synonyms there coming up. All right. So when we think about peace, among us here in this group this evening, we have persons who think about love, harmony, understanding, happiness, togetherness, having to give up something, respect for people, prosperity, no racism, stillness, wholeness for the greater good. So we're gonna use these words now, hold those thoughts, and as we continue with this evening's program, we can see how close we are towards our belief with regard to peace. So I now hand you over to, I thank you first of all for your contribution there, and I'll hand you over to our Assistant Governor, Ms. Debbie Rupchan. Debbie?
Right, I might need to unmute her 1 second. Let me get to Debbie. There we go, Debbie.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kamalin, and Indira, thank you as well. President Eknath, President Dina, fellow Rotarians, Interactors, good evening to all. Good evening to specially invited guests as well. I want to immediately congratulate the Rotary Club of Penal for becoming the first Peace Builder Club in District 7030. I think that it is a remarkable achievement and that it is worthy of recognition and applause, which I hope we are all WhatsApp clapping. I'm also delighted to have been invited to the meeting, not just as Assistant Governor, but as Chair of the District 7030 Peace Committee. And I'm looking forward to the presentation to see where we at in terms of your ideas as to peace building and what the Rotary Club of Penal and the Interactors could perhaps even bring to the table at the district level in terms of what you want to see with respect to peace building and the ideas that you have. I want to remind just a little quote from Mahatma Gandhi, which I always use, that now more than ever, this is me, we need peace. And in his words, there's no path to peace. Peace is the path. And just to encourage the club really, which is already on the peace path, to continue down that pathway. Thank you, and I look forward to the presentation.
Right. Thank you, AG Debbie, for those lovely words. Right. We now move into our main presentation by Rotarian Miriam Boyce. So I'll just slide the computer over to her.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here with us tonight, taking the time out of your schedules and for the interest in our presentation. Special welcome to Assistant Governor Debbie Rup-Chen. We appreciate having you here. It's always a pleasure and an honor having you join us. Thank you once again for also contributing, as fellow Rotarian Indira asked what you think of peace. It was inspiring to see your thoughts on peace, what it means to you. It's refreshing to know that there are so many who are interested in learning more about peace. What does peace mean to me? When I asked myself this question, I quickly began to think of happy moments in my life, spending time with family and friends, volunteering, and helping those in need. For the person who put calm as their response, we share a like mind. I thought of how I felt in those moments, and calmness was the single word that came to my mind. When I am with those I love, or help a child learn to read, or provide a food hamper for an individual or family, I feel a sense of calmness in every fiber of my body. Knowing that through my actions, love is reciprocated, a child has a strong foundation and education to build upon, and that an individual or family can sleep at night without hunger pains in their stomachs, knowing that I provided a feeling of peace to others provides peace in me. Carmeline, if you could go to the slide presentation now.
Sure.
Thank
Let's see
you.
if it's coming up here. All right,
And
just let me know when to go to the next slide, etc.
You can go on to the next. Thank you.
Welcome.
So the Oxford Languages defines peace as 1, freedom from disturbance, tranquility, and 2, a state or period in which there is no war or war has ended. Yes, peace is an open and non-violent way of being, but that is at its most basic. We can categorize peace in 2 ways, negative or positive. As we see in front of us, negative peace is the absence of direct violence, absence of fear of violence. And that relates to the Global Peace Index. Positive peace is the attitudes, institutions, and structures that sustain peace, which impacts the Positive Peace Index. So negative peace is the absence of something bad, while positive peace is the presence of something good. To have a better understanding, we can think of it like this: the food that we choose to eat. Negative peace would be eating only to keep away hunger or to take hunger away. But should we stop there? We should aim to ensure the food we eat is healthy, filled with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients to nourish our bodies, keeping us strong and well. From this, we can see how negative and positive peace are distinct but interconnected. You could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So negative peace, like we said, is the absence of violence or fear of violence. It is used as the definition of peace to create the Global Peace Index, which we will take a look at later. It is the world's leading measure of national peacefulness. In 2016, a 50-year civil war ended in Colombia. The way in which this was achieved was through high-level negotiations that finalized the peace agreement. But ending a war is not the only way for us to improve and gain negative peace. We need to lessen homicide, violent crimes, and access to weapons. Health factors such as poor living conditions, including no or limited supply of food and water and health care, as well as other factors such as job security and corruption, contribute directly to crime. This results in a lack of negative peace. A few ways to help our society gain negative peace are: we can find ways to provide water to those without, and assist those in need of employment by helping them acquire the necessary skills, or for those who already possess the required skills, we can employ them regardless of age, gender, or race. You can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Positive peace. Ultimately, this is what we want to achieve. Positive peace is more than the absence of violence. It creates the conditions for individuals to flourish, just as equal access to education gives children the knowledge and skills they need to become successful, contributing global citizens. So defined as the attitudes, institutions, and structures that, when strengthened, lead to a more peaceful society, positive peace describes an optimum environment for human potential to flourish. It is not only associated with higher levels of peace, it is also associated with stronger macroeconomic performance, as the factors that sustain highly peaceful societies also provide a framework for robust economic development. Through education on peace and actions to obtain peace, we can keep our country peaceful. Kindness, love, caring, and compassion can be learned. If we take the time to communicate with and understand people, their situations, we can help them and gain peace. Holding a candlelight vigil or participating in a march can bring awareness of or highlight specific crimes or areas of violence that we need to rid of, but becoming a peace builder and demonstrating such through our daily actions can help create a ripple effect, resulting in others becoming more peaceful and paying it forward. One small gesture can impact a person's day for better or worse. We should always choose that our words, attitudes, and actions help to make a better day for all people that we encounter throughout each day. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once described peace as unfolding in a straight line. beginning with inner peace based in the heart, then continuing to family, community, nation, and the world. Remember, positive peace and negative peace are connected, and positive peace can directly help increase negative peace. If you could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So, as mentioned earlier, there are factors that influence negative peace, and these factors are used to create the Global Peace Index. We're going to take a moment and watch a short video to learn more about the index.
All right, so the video's coming up as soon as I begin to share shortly.
Peace. If you can't measure it, how can you understand it? How do you know whether your actions are helping or hindering you in achieving your goals? You don't if you can't measure it. Without measures of peace, how can you analyse it to understand what creates peace? That's why the Global Peace Index was developed. The Institute for Economics and Peace is an international think tank with offices in Sydney, New York, Mexico and The Hague. We aim to create a paradigm shift in the way the world is about peace. We started research to show that peace is a positive, tangible and achievable measure of human well-being. We do this by developing global and national indices, calculating the economic cost of violence and understanding positive peace.
Our research is used by governments, academic institutions, think tanks and non-governmental organisations such as the OECD, World Secretariat and the World Bank. The Institute was recently ranked in the top 15 most impactful think tanks in the world.
The Global Peace Index applies holistic measure of peace. It now ranks 163 countries, covering 99.6% of the world's population, and has done so for 10 years. It allows an assessment of peace on a continuum, high levels of peace, moderate levels of peace, and low levels of peace.
In order to measure negative peace, the foundation of the Global Peace Index, and also to measure positive peace, which, with its 8 pillars, provides the ideal environment for human potential to flourish, IEP uses over 10,000 datasets with millions of data points gathered from across the world. Big data has allowed us to shift the paradigm from a focus on causation to correlation. For example, IEP's positive peace research discovered that countries that are high in levels of positive peace enjoy a 2% higher GDP growth rate. IEP also discovered that 91% of all civil resistance campaigns that were violent have been waged in countries with low levels of positive peace. Using a statistical analysis of over 4,000 datasets, IEP has developed a conceptual framework known as the Pillars of Positive Peace. These pillars outline a system of 8 factors that work together to build positive peace and provide a roadmap to overcome adversity and conflict in order to build lasting peace.
Thank you, Carmeline. You can put it onto the next slide, please. Thank you. Now, it might be a little challenging to see our small in size but very vibrant in character country on this map, right? But if we were able to enlarge it, we would see that we are yellow on here, which is medium peace, okay? This is just a snapshot that we're looking here of the Global Peace Index. It's from 2019. When we take a look on the website, in 2019, Trinidad and Tobago had a ranking of 93 out of 163 countries in regards to how our peace is. In 2020, our current ranking increased. We are now 88 out of 163. So excellent for us, we have increased. However, sadly, in general, global peace has decreased from 2019 to 2020, which makes this the fourth time in the last 5 years that global peace has decreased. So this is definitely something that we all need to think about and try to work on. I encourage each of you to visit the Vision of Humanity website. You can Google it, or you can put in visionofhumanity.org. Click on Global Peace Index, and you can study this index further. There is also a lot of other educational material on there that you can explore on the website to learn more about peace. So I now want to ask a question to everyone in attendance this evening. As Interactors and Rotarians, our projects can help increase global peace. What are the most inspiring Rotary Interact or extracurricular projects that you have been involved with? If we could again use the Mentimeter, or you can use the chat box to share the names of your most inspiring projects. Indira, would you be able to put that back on?
We had Rotarian Darsal helping out with the Mentimeter. So if she's there, Darsal, would it be possible to get the Mentimeter up for this?
Thank you.
Yes. So you're going to see the link in the chat as well. And if you allow me to share, I will pull up the presentation again.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So you can go ahead and just type in the names of your most inspiring projects. While you're doing this, I will share with you mine. Recently, I was fortunate enough to be a part of the Diabetes Awareness and Prevention project that our club undertook. It was with the early actors, and it was an amazing experience. It was such a joy presenting the information to the children and watching them gain knowledge to make the necessary changes and instill those changes in their lives so they can carry it through for the rest of their lives and live a healthy and happy life. So I see here Water Project, Cotton Hill, Water Project, excellent. Online videos, very good. Food hampers, important peace camps. Does anyone else have any projects they would like to share? Polio awareness. Moruga Health Drive, okay. School supplies. Where are we? Why isn't it? Okay. It's not letting me go that long. Sean and I were trying to share the name of a project that we did together. It was for the anniversary of the World Trade Center, but it wasn't letting me enter so many characters, I guess. Can you help me go back to this? Thank you. Okay, excellent. So someone else also did the diabetes, that's excellent. And a marathon, okay. So at this time, I would like to thank you for your participation in that. And the next topic we're going to discuss this evening is the pillars of positive peace, and fellow Rotarian Darcel will lead us in that.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Good evening, everyone, and all protocols observed. can I ask Rotary and Cameline to go to the next slide so that we can view the Rotary's 6 areas of focus as well as the 8 pillars of positive peace? Thank you so much. So Rotary has 6 areas of focus, the first of which is peace and conflict prevention, conflict resolution, which you will see in the dove icon. Second, disease prevention and treatment. Third, water and sanitation. Fourth, maternal and child health. Fifth, basic education and literacy. And sixth, economic and community development. And you may find that these areas of focus overlap somewhat with the 8 pillars of positive peace. And we're going to go through those 8 pillars today, and I'm going to give you some detail as to each one. So let's look at the first one, a well-functioning government. A well-functioning government delivers high-quality public and civil services. It engenders trust and participation. It demonstrates political stability, and it upholds the rule of law. That's the first pillar of positive peace. Second, a sound business environment. And you'll see the briefcase icon there for a sound business environment. When we think of a sound business environment, we are talking about the strength of economic conditions, as well as the formal institutions that support the operation of the private sector. Business competitiveness and economic productivity are both associated with the most peaceful countries. The third pillar of positive peace is an equitable distribution of resources. Peaceful countries tend to ensure equity in access to resources such as education, health, and to a lesser extent, equity in income distribution. Our fourth pillar of peace, acceptance of the rights of others. Now, peaceful countries often have formal laws that guarantee basic human rights and freedoms, and the informal social and cultural practices that relate to behaviors of citizens. The fifth pillar of peace has to do with good relations with neighbors. Peaceful relations with other countries are as important as good relations between groups within a country. Countries with positive external relations are more peaceful and tend to be more politically stable. They have better functioning governments. They are regionally integrated, and they have lower levels of organized internal conflict. The sixth pillar of peace is a free flow of information, and you'll see the Wi-Fi symbol there. Free and independent media disseminates information in a way that leads to greater knowledge and helps individuals, businesses, and civil society to make better decisions. This leads to better outcomes and more rational responses in times of crisis. The seventh pillar of peace refers to high levels of human capital. So a skilled human capital base reflects the extent to which societies educate citizens and promote the development of knowledge, therefore improving economic productivity, care for the young, political participation, and social capital. The eighth pillar of peace has to do with low levels of corruption, and that is the money sign icon that you see on screen. In societies with high levels of corruption, resources are inefficiently allocated, often leading to a lack of funding for essential services and civil unrest. Low corruption in a country builds confidence and trust in its institutions. So these 8 pillars are used by the Institute for Economics and Peace to produce the Positive Peace Report as well as the Global Peace Index. And again, I want to reiterate, just as Rotary and Miriam said, in the 2020 Global Peace Index, Trinidad and Tobago ranked 88th. We went up 4 spots out of 163 countries. All right. Thank you so much, Rotary and Cameline. Back to you.
Right, thank you, Rotary and Sal, and we will have our chair coming in now.
Yes,
One moment.
yes, you can.
I'm so sorry because I know I had said to use the Mentimeter or the chat box, and everyone was posting on the Mentimeter, and my apologies to Pamela and AG Debbie. I'm seeing a candlelight walk and planting of a peace pole at San Fernando City Hall. That is such an excellent project to embark on, having it right in the center of town where everyone can see and learn more and understand and know about peace and highlight that's amazing. So my apologies, because as Darcel was reading through, I had a chance to check the chat box. So thank you.
Right. So next we have opportunities to get involved. Of course, you're always welcome and encouraged to participate in Rotary projects, but we would love to hear some ideas from you as to how you feel you can become involved in peace building and engage in positive peace. Can we have some feedback? You guys can unmute your microphones, raise your hands. We'd love to hear from you.
Sean, I would need to unmute them after they raise their hands. So only when they raise their hands, then I would unmute them one by one.
Not a problem. Guys, don't be shy. No one's more nervous than me. Start calling on people. No, I can't do that.
I'm sure we can. We have some of the presidents of our Interact clubs here.
Well, I like this tie that I don't want to dissect his name, but Sudarshan. Kamala, you can unmute him. I would love to hear from him.
Thanks, everybody. Can you just repeat the question one more time, please? My internet dipped when you were speaking.
Okay, good. Right. It's the opportunities to get involved. We'd like to hear some ideas. How you feel you could get involved to help with peace building?
So, peace in terms of, from my perspective, peace is all about people. It's about making the harmony between everyone across the sectors in society and community. Right? It's about building the harmony between all. And in order to do that, something that I would see as key would be outreach, because plenty times people, they know what they want peace, but that's it, right? But we just need someone to put out a hand to get to them. And I am a strong believer of adapting, and with the present situation, not only at a national level, but at an international level, with COVID having restrictions in the world, it has made the internet a much more demanded platform for exchanging ideas, concepts, etc. So a suggestion in light of everything put in reference, I would believe, is to create videos, create online programs, create courses or things that people can engage on, even now, with not only people that they normally see, but at an international and at a bigger level, so that we can spread the harmony and the feeling. And once people have that vision of peace, then peace will become a reality. As was mentioned before, there's no path to take for peace. Peace is the path. So once we can get that to people, then I believe it'll be much more easy. So that's my contribution. Thank you.
Excellent input. Excellent. Outreach. Right. Someone else? I will start. Most definitely. Carmelin, can you unmute the AG's mic, please?
Hi. I wanted to say that with respect to the different areas of focus, that every single area of focus in Rotary actually leads to peace. You'll hear it be said often, all roads lead to peace. And I would just give one or two examples. For example, when you do a project in basic education and literacy, that's education, that's putting knowledge into somebody's mind and indirectly and sometimes even directly bringing about peace. If you do, for example, a water and sanitation project, as the one in Cotton Hill, which I would have typed in the chat box, people having water in a poor community leads to children being able to bathe, it leads to a lack of disease, it leads them to having resources that could put into the community towards them going to get education. So there's a spin-off effect from almost every single area of focus, which is directly linked to bringing about peace. So I just want to share that, clubs might find it hard. When you think peace building, you think, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I meditating? Am I, giving a lecture on peace? How am I bringing about peace? Everything you do that could put a society in a more comfortable way and in a more comfortable feel and improve their conditions, it all has an effect on peace. So I just say that when you're thinking about your projects.
Excellent, thank you. I see that President Diana posted on the chat, fixed intergenerational relations. Excellent. Wow. And climate change. Whew. Two very good points. Thank you. Let's hear from Mr. Vijay. Vijay?
Hi, are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead, Vijay.
Right. So I agree with AG Debbie to the sense that all the areas of focus actually overlap, because I could tell you in terms of whether it be child abuse or maternity or any of those things, eventually things can lead to one another. And it was a funny story because I remember when I was going to school, our geography teacher actually gave us what a simple thing as maybe, and even we saw videos as I got older, like just speaking to somebody in a harsh and it could actually led to a country going to war, which well, this wasn't an actual scenario, but it just actually showed that simple little things could lead to, I had a bad day, somebody tell me something, I speak back to that person, and then that channel to something else, and then that lead to something else, and then that lead to something even bigger. So it all, for me, it all overlaps, and keep that in mind as we go forward in terms of doing projects.
Thank you, Vijay. Going back to President Diana, can you elaborate on the 2 points that you put up? Very interesting points.
I take it that you're referring to me? Yes? It's Dina.
Okay, yeah. I'm so sorry.
I was just typing what I meant, but in terms of intergenerational relations, I'm talking around family lines, that oftentimes there's conflict, and that can lead, and we can take simple examples of right here in Trinidad where there's conflict over inheritance, going for over generations, and so that's one area that we can talk about. And the other one is in terms of climate change, there's always conflict over resources such as water and land, especially right now in West Africa. There's a lot of that going on. So those are just two areas that came to my mind. I thought I should put in there because they're not really thought of.
Thank you. As far as intergenerational relations, it's something I see almost every day in my work. People fighting for less than a foot of land barriers.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can never understand that.
If your neighbor, if you have to fence your plot, your lot,
exactly.
You have to make sure that your neighbor is there and you measure everything. You can't go across because it's trouble, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, yep. Okay, anybody else would like to share?
Let's see, is Hemalata the president of Parvati Guilds? Would you like to share something, Hemalata?
Good evening, everyone. I apologize in advance for any background noise. I think that peace really starts from ourselves, from within ourselves. We cannot go out, we cannot pour water from a jug filled with juice. And I was reading some of the quotes earlier. One of them really stayed with me. It was, if you are depressed, you are stuck on the past. If you are anxious, you are thinking about the future. And if you are calm, you are in the present. I really felt that one. I think that a lot of us struggle every day with simple things like that
But we don't. But they could call it downstairs.
That we don't find peace within ourselves. Like we always think the negative. Maybe we always argue with our neighbors, and then we want to go and participate in something like this and expect to bring about positive peace. I feel like that's negative peace, getting rid of that fear, anxiety, and everything that we battle with before we go out to bring a change into the world. And that's what I think I've got to say. Thank you.
All right, I see on the chat here we have projects. Well, instead of me reading it out, Darcel, would you like to elaborate?
Thanks, Sean. I'm just thinking about projects that we can initiate to assist the Venezuelan migrant community. And that kind of aligns with the pillar of peace that deals with acceptance of the rights of others. And when we think about basic human rights, the Venezuelan migrant community really has little access to social services. And of course, we want to think about their successful integration into our society, especially those who are minors, migrant children. What are we doing to assist them in terms of education and sensitizing our population to, promote tolerance, to promote living in harmony in our communities? So I would suggest, doing a project that in some way impacts the migrant community.
Excellent input, Rotarian. Yeah, excellent input.
I would just like to make a point to further on that, because Leanna, that Darcel, Leanna, but and that's something I had thought about earlier too, because one time I was taking a little boy to school. This was some months back, and he commented to me about the Venezuelans who were in our area and how they were here, and he didn't quite have, and this was a young child, he didn't seem quite pleased with it, more than likely overhearing older people and their discussions, right? So I explained to him the situation in their country and said, well, in my opinion, if that were me, I would be very grateful that the country took me in. So living here, should it ever get to such, terrible conditions, I would be happy and thankful if another country said, yes, please, you can come and stay here, work and live to better your life. So he thought about that for a little while and understood the point. But again, it does start with, education and the sensitizing, especially with the children, because what we teach them and what they hear, they will carry through and pass that on to generations also. So.
All right, great. Colin has his hand raised. Let's give Colin a moment.
All right, good night, everyone. All
Good night.
privileged to observe. What I was thinking is we could utilize social media, as someone said before, and present some form of advice system where people we could select a range of topics and let people who have particular problems with things such as racism or employment issues with the COVID times, how we could help them to inform them of certain unemployment benefits that the country may have or certain challenges. And I feel this can also help with the other problem someone talked about before with the generational linking, where people of varying ages could help the other age groups with particular problems that they're having during the COVID times. And our next thing, it could be instant relief because you don't have to meet. So the problems with COVID would not be there. And yet people be able to share any problems that they have, and we limit the topics, of course, and be able to help them, give them whatever advice,
So
and have videos and
kind of like an interactive advice system.
yes,
Something.
an interactive advice system
Okay.
with whatever relevant topics that people are experiencing. Like right now, Trinidad has probably with the recent election some racial relation problems and other things, well, the ever persistent crime and so on, and the unemployment issues. So something like you could show people whatever unemployment packages and things that they have so that they could get instant relief. So you could help people one time.
Kind of like a general advice system then, like they have these like the creek app to see what traffic is there and stuff like that. So basically something like that where people could come in and say, hey, you know what, I need to talk about this or that, and
yeah,
interesting.
And limiting the number of topics so that we could specialize in the help that we're given so it wouldn't be too general.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Then my contribution.
Right. Thank you, Colin. I see Josh from Asher Boys. So representing Asher Boys, Josh, can we hear some of your thoughts?
He's still muted, Cameron. Okay.
Go ahead, Josh.
Josh, can you hear us?
That's if he's there. He probably ran away. All right, let's see until Josh comes around.
See, President Dina posted power of language. No, we can't hear you, Josh.
All right, try tapping your mic on and off, Josh. Or activating it, right? So let me try it now. Say something.
Josh, you have an external speaker plugged in. If you do, unplug it because we were having the same problem. Okay, well, Kamala, we can go to Craig and then come back to Josh.
Yeah, Josh, you could probably try typing in the chat as well. Craig, let me find Craig.
Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Go ahead, Craig.
Okay, so I think that the best way, that the best thing that we could do is to strike at the source. And that in order to build a lasting peace, we need to shape the way that newer generations learn. And not only that, but we need to attack and strike at where all these attitudes are coming from. We need to show people that there's a better way than what they think is right. Lecture them all you want to, but at the end of the day, they'll still hold on to their attitudes unless they know there's a better way.
So true. Thank you, Craig. Right. Okay, I see Josh said he's going to type, so we'll wait for him to type that out, and see who else I can call on here. Good night, Jamie. How are you? Okay. Right.
I'm not sure if you're hearing me.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Hi, good night. My name is Jamie Dukan. So far, I'm enjoying everything I hear. No, have no any comments. I really enjoy the meeting. So, and I have no suggestions actually. So.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Hope to see you again.
You will.
Excellent. Right, I see Josh said, good night to all. One area of concern for me is about peace and the lack of equality and opportunity for all people of society. So my question to you, Josh, is what do you propose?
Right, so while Josh is typing up his response to Sean there, let's see, Chandni, are you there? Let's see if Chandni from Poverty Girls would like to share with us. If I could get her mic unmuted, that is. Unmute. Her mic seems to be stuck. All right, Chandini might have to use the chat room as well. Not sure if she has a mic on that device. Let's see who else I could find from Poverty Guilds.
I love that name.
And we have Rotary and Nada joining us as well.
We have a question from Sudarshan, and I would love if AGW. The question is, does peace come from people's mindset or from their emotion? Sorry for putting you on the spot, AG.
It's all right. The quick answer to that is that your mindset would actually influence your emotions. So once it is, you put your mind into a space where you focus on peace, peaceful relations, building peace, then it is automatically going to be reflected in your emotions as to how you deal with every aspect of your life and with others.
Excellent. Excellent. Right, you see we have the response here from Josh. I believe once all people have the same opportunities in terms of education and access to basic necessities, peace can be achieved. Hats off to you, Josh. Excellent, excellent. Right. So
let's see, Sarita from Poverty Guilds. Are you there, Sarita? Sarita Nagisa? No? Try tapping your mic on or off again. All right, it's off.
I need to apologize, Josh. We're in uncharted territories here. These things happen. Carmelin?
Yeah.
Aphelius, am I saying it right? I love that name. Miss Sugram. I don't know if you've seen it. How do you say it?
Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Sugram.
Hi, good afternoon. I was listening.
Before you start, can you please pronounce your first name for me?
Oh, sorry. My first name is Alpheus.
Alpheus.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. I was listening to all the contributions by everyone this afternoon. Great contributions. I really think that in order for society to be like, or in general for everyone to be more peaceful, as mentioned before, it begins with you and finding inner peace. You know, so when you find that inner peace and you're able to what do you say? You're able to share more peaceful thoughts and attitudes to others. The in place in general, like society in general, could be more peaceful. Yeah, that's my contribution.
Thank you, sir. Right. At this point, I would like to invite AG Debbie's going to think I'm picking on her, but I would like to invite AG Debbie to talk about the future plans with respect to peace building, if you may.
Okay, great. I'm unmuted. Thanks, Sean. You have been putting me on the spot, but I'm up to the challenge. One of the things that we aim to accomplish district-wide in this particular Rotary year is the training of 250 interactors in what we call positive peace activation. That project is scheduled to take place in March of 2020 over a 2-day period. At the moment, we are at the stage where we are trying to get proper financing for it. And I believe that the Penal Club will be partnering with us in that project and moving forward. The training in positive peace activation would actually cover not just what peace is about, but it's going to equip you to go out and become activators in terms of teaching others, as well as understanding how to do peace projects and measure their impact. So that's one of the main aims we have. And it's not just limited to interactors. We also have training scheduled in January that we're looking for the Rotaractors and Rotarians to participate in. That is the bigger project we have for the district. Other than that project, we have been having monthly sessions with respect to peace building. As a matter of fact, on Saturday, we have an upcoming session with Patricia Schaefer of New Gen Peace Builders, and it's open to the interactors. I sent a reminder this week to clubs to please invite all the interactors, Rotaractors, and Rotarians to attend, because Patricia is going to cover how we as Rotarians, Rotaractors, and interactors can move forward in terms of peace projects in that presentation. And she's a peace fellow with significant experience who can give you on-the-spot answers and ideas as to different projects. So I invite everybody who's on this call to attend that session if you're available, 5 p.m. via Zoom on Saturday. The session we have in September is actually World Peace Day, September 21st. We are celebrating that in a big way. Rotary's history of peacemaking, and we have asked clubs across the district to submit, even prior to September 21st, their projects, their peace projects. That includes Interact clubs, Interactors, Rotaractors, Rotarians. If you have a successful peace project that you have completed before September 21st, please send it forward to the Peace Committee, because we would showcase it as part of that particular meeting. So I've just done the first 3 months. The Peace Committee has a dedicated page on the district website. So if you log into the district website, you can easily see all our updates. We have useful links to other peace entities like the Rotarian Action Group for Peace, and different organizations, IEP, which was one of the, you all use IEPs with this evening for this particular presentation. So access to resources in relation to doing the peace projects. somebody, I can't remember, it may have been Josh in the chat, was talking about lack of equality and opportunity for people in society. I'm not sure if as interactors you all are aware, but earlier this year Rotary actually issued a formal statement on diversity, equity and inclusion. It's our DEI statement. And if you read the DEI statement, it goes to the heart of ensuring that we all understand that we are not to discriminate in relation to race, gender, sexuality. It's all in the statement. Google it, read it. That's one of our guides as Rotarians, how we are to conduct ourselves. And if we abide by the DI statement, a lot of the concerns as to inequality should evaporate. I hope I haven't said too much. Thanks.
Never. Thank you. Okay. All right. Before we close, does anyone have anything else they would like to share with us? Anything to add? No? All right. Well, at this time, I would like to call on Rotarian Petronella Pasteo to give words of appreciation.
Sean, we were thinking if to run the quiz before we do words of appreciation. What do you think?
Sure, of course.
All right, that's all. Take it away.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen and I'm going to copy paste into the Zoom chat the link that you're going to just to participate in our very short quiz to see that you have understood what we discussed during the session. So feel free to copy paste from the chat, the link, or you can enter the game code at quizzes.com to participate. All right, so we'll give you just a couple of minutes for everybody to sign in and then we'll start. Kamalene, if you could tell me what's our participant so that we can make sure everybody gets on.
Say that again, that's all.
What's our number of participants? I'm seeing 17 already signed in to quiz this. I'm just giving them enough time for all of us to get on.
All right, you mean how much of us are in the room? We have 30 in the room, so yeah.
All right, so we'll give them a couple more minutes to sign in.
Yeah, should get some more popping in. Come on, folks. Rotarians, feel free to jump in as well.
Very nice. I'm seeing Sean and Miriam. All right, we'll give them just a couple more seconds and then we'll start. Should we start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go.
Where?
No, that's not fair. That was fun. 65%. Okay, that was fun. You guys want to do it again?
Congratulations to Terrell and VJ. I'm seeing top 3, Terrell, VJ, and Colin. Those were our top 3.
Excellent. It was a fun game, that's all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey. All right. Cameron? Cameron? Oh, okay. Now we would like to...
Right, sorry, Sean. My machine was given a bit trouble there. Let's see, I think Doc mentioned Dina wanted to make a contribution. Let's try and get her unmuted again.
Sure.
Go ahead, Dina.
No, all I wanted to say, I could not participate because I wasn't seeing or hearing anything.
At what point?
None from the very beginning.
Oh.
But that's okay, that's okay.
All right, well, we do have it recorded, so we can get you a copy. All right, so we
Okay.
can chat with Doc after.
All right. So we'll have words of appreciation by Rotarian Petronella Bazio. Hi, Petronella.
Hi, good night all protocols observed. Indeed, it was a fun, interesting, and learning night. And sometimes we need to show our appreciation so that we can encourage what has transpired here this evening, so that it will take place on a larger scale. Let me now take this opportunity to express on behalf of the Rotary Club of Penal Our warmest thanks and appreciation to one and all. We feel exceptionally blessed and fortunate to have Assistant Governor Debbie Rupchan grace us with her presence. Your recognition and appreciation made this venture worthwhile. Your mere presence provided a source of encouragement, and it engaged us to do more and to participate more. To the other members of our District 7030 Peace Committee, thank you for supporting our endeavor in the promotion of peace, especially in this chaotic world that surrounds us. These endeavors were made possible through our President, Dana and DJ Jagannath. Thank you. To other Rotary Club presidents and secretaries, fellow Rotarian, interactors, and staff advisors. Thank you for your support. We welcome your constructive criticism so that we can do better next time around. To our Rotary family and our host, and the other specially invited participants, we wish to say a special thank you because we were able to share in your thoughts and share with you our thoughts regarding what peace meant. The interactive participation assisted us all by helping us appreciate and understand what peace meant to different persons individually and to us collectively. To Mr. S. Motilal of Shiva Boys, who assisted in coordinating responses from the Interact Club, our heartfelt thanks for the hard work and dedication. We look forward to your continued support. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And with this in mind, I want to remind each and every one of us to become that little lamp from which peace and love emanates. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much, Ms. Paseo. And thank you all for being here. It was indeed a pleasure. And I wish you all a safe night. Be safe, be vigilant in your safety as far as COVID is concerned. It does not discriminate. That is one thing about this virus. Okay? So be careful, guys. Be safe, and thank you again. Good night.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Good night, everyone, and
Good night.
be well. Goodbye.
Be well.
Good night.
Good night.